Okay, who voted no on the snails being bugs? What? Why are you doing that? There's so many people voting no on snails are bugs. We'll be right back. Hold on. What's up, everybody? It is, hold up, I gotta rewind. What's up, everybody? I'm Jordan. Hi. And we're doing some list review show, very contentious poll in chat brought to you because the snail is in chat, the one and only. Are snails bugs? Are snails bugs? I don't know. Are snails bugs? I would say yes, but no is winning in no is winning in chat right now. Jeez. I was actually like, isn't there like a snail guy? Isn't there like a Nurgle snail guy? What I feel like a pyrovore might be a good like proxy as a snail. What do you guys think? Could you run the snail guy from Nurgle and make him into a pyrovore? I feel like that would be pretty good. I feel like that would be pretty fun. Gastropods? Sounds like a bug to me. Sounds like a bug. Anyways, sorry, weird tangent. Very strange way to start the stream. I'm Jordan. We're going to review some Tyranid lists. None of them will contain snails, unfortunately. But this is the Army List Review Show. Welcome. Glad that everybody's in here chilling. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and let's get into it. We have 9 list reviews today. Boom. And this, oh, excuse me. What is the snailest nid? That's a good. Bugs have shelly skin. Well, okay. Sylvanian. Snails, you said shelly skin. Snails have a shell. You can't get much shellier than having a shell on your back. What? How to get past the Nurgle snail thing as a biovore pyrovore. Get the model, attach the right cannon to it, put some spore mines on the base around it, and Tyranid bits. There you go, folks. We're going to do a Tyranid snail. Should I do this? Rippers? Honestly, the snail. Whatever you say is the most snail-like Tyranid is a snail. Because I feel like you are the expert in the equation because you are the snail. Ozlith, what are you saying? Did you see what I had said, Jordan? I was curious if you saw. I'm sorry, Ozlith. What did you say? I was distracted. Yeah, what should our super chat goal be? What should I do for the super chat goal? I'm sorry. So the thing with the meme list reviews, there are too many legs on Tyranid models. Yeah, that's probably good. The meme list thing, we've had matchups planned for quite some time, and so I haven't been able to like fit a meme list. So next week, I'm having my buddy Kyle back on stream, and he's bringing orcs. We are doing the bean battle again. So if you remember a couple months back when we did the beans, we're gonna be eating some gross beans again. He's bringing his orcs, and I'm playing Vanguard Nids. I wanted to play Vanguard again because the following Sunday I'm participating in an RTT. I just wanted one more rep with my Vanguard list. So no meme list, but after that, the week after that, I will for sure do a meme list for all you guys, and it'll be amazing. It's up towards the top of chat. Yeah, I scrolled up. I couldn't see it because I think the Oh, hey there, Jordan. Today in your Discord, I sent an updated painted official model of Norn emissaries in Oolong's color and the progress on a Maliceptor in Exocrine. That was you. I did think I saw that. I think I glanced at it barely. It looks cool, man. Ulamog was one of my favorite. I'm sorry, Bennis. Ulamog was one of my favorite commanders when I was playing EDH. Bennis, it will happen. We will do meme lists soon. I just want to make sure that. Whoa! Nix! Super chat. I heard a great joke recently. Which Chaos Demon makes the best cashier? By the Lord of Change. Okay. If we could get a new detachment, what theme would you want it to be? I would want it to be. Here's my theme. I would want it to be competitive. No, I would want it to be. I don't know. I feel like we could use a melee detachment. Like I know Vanguard Onslaught is quote unquote melee, but I feel like if we got like a detachment that when you charge, if we basically got like Liberator Assault Group, but in Tyranids, I think that would be really cool. I think that would be awesome. That would be sweet. Okay. But that would be my answer. If we got Liberator Assault Group, but Tyranid skinned, I think that would be very, very cool. Something like that. Like you get extra attacks when you charge. Some melee buffs. I definitely think Tyranids are lacking in that. Who knows? Maybe Raveners help. But ramming a lot. I do love it. The energy in chat is excellent, except for saying snails are not bugs. So I don't know what to say about that, but it's okay. Here's our first list. It's Jacob34. Thank you for being a member, Jacob. Whether or not your membership was gifted, whether or not you are a member yourself, we really appreciate the support. Let's take a look. This is the list of units I actually have in play right now. I just started in February and have watched a ton of your videos in casual games. I'm 2-1. Very nice. Wen versus Custodes and Grey Knights. L versus Votan. Absolutely loving being able to gum up the table and have some scary threats. Very cool. We're an invasion fleet. Okay, so he wants to, I think he wants to stay swarm heavy a little bit. All right, so let's take a look at what he's got. Invasion fleet, excuse me, 2,000 points. We have a Death Leaper. We have a Turvagon with perfectly adapted Wing Tyranid Prime with Synaptic Linchpin. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of this, but I think, in my opinion, right off the bat, I would probably like cut Synaptic Linchpin and Perfectly Adapted and just combine them and give the Turvagon Adaptive Biology. Turvagon's incredibly tanky, especially with Adaptive Biology. It would be gross. Okay, we've got 30 Hormigons, 10, 10, and 10. We've got 20 Termagants. Let's see if he has 2 with Shard Launcher, 2 with Spike Rifle, 2 with, and then, okay, and 14 with Flesh Boar. I like all the extra weapons. I honestly don't bother with them too much because my Termagants are from the Leviathan box, so I just have what I have, honestly. But I would definitely change the Flesh Borers to Spine Fist. And even just be like, just tell your opponents anything that is a Flesh Borer is actually a Spine Fist. They probably don't care. But I think Spine Fists are definitely the competitive way because you want to be able to always advance with them, especially since you don't have a Hive Tyrant. Getting Assault on those Termagants and just being able to really advance up the board and shoot with them. And then if you are locked in combat, you can regrow them, of course, and then also still shoot inside combat. So that's what I would recommend. I definitely think Spine Fists are the more competitive route. And then it's just 40 Termagants, right? Okay. 3 Biovores. Okay. 3 Pyrovores, 3 Ripper Swarms, Exocrine, Norn Emissary, Psychophage, and Tyrannofex. All right. So a couple things. Let's see. Does he have a Neuro Tyrant? He does not. Okay. Does he have Venomthropes? He does not have Venomthropes. Okay. The Norn Emissary with Swarm build is kind of interesting. I mean, if it's been working with you, it's been more a Chad list. Yeah, I agree. This is a Chad list. It's very interesting. It's kind of like doing one thing and then kind of like doing the other at the same time. Um, I'm okay with the Psychophage. I think the Psychophage is fine. The Tyranid effects I do like, but things that I want, if we're running Swarm of any kind, I immediately want Venomthropes and I want Zoanthropes. Venomthropes are going to give -1 to hit, of course, and with a 20-man blob of Termagants, you're going to be able to string them out wherever. So you're going to be able to stay within that 6-inch aura of the Venomthropes. So I highly encourage you to do so. And then with the Zoanthropes, it's the same thing. They're going to give invulns to your Termagants. A 6-up invuln is not the best, save or stat, of course, but a 6-up invuln is much better than like having AP2 go straight through, or AP3 or whatever. So it definitely does. It can help out. Oh, Mark says he loves the Torrent weapon plus 36 sustained attacks on an Overwatch with the Devourer. Devourers are cool, but I feel like a lot of times your Tormagants are just going to want to be in somebody's business and then being locked in combat, going on your turn, and just being able to just stay there and just kind of just shoot some pistols at them could be good. But also, I think we all have to remember that we're talking about the weapons on Termagants. And I don't think really anyone is taking Termagants for their weapons. I think people are taking Termagants because they're really cheap and they can like cover the entire board. So that's what I would say. Okay, things that I think absolutely need to happen. We got to cut this Biovore down to 1 Biovore. All right, it's just not. I think it is cool to have 3. I think that is a very interesting thing. I just don't think it's quite what we want to be doing here. So that's gonna give us 100 extra points. Spores are fun. I agree with you, but 1 spore, in my opinion, is enough fun for me. Yeah. Tax is super paid. Yeah, you're right. It was super paid. So we have 100 points there. I don't think that we want the Ripper Swarms at this point as well. And I know that he's going with like stuff he owns. I think that's what he said. But who is this? Jacob, I would say try and take this as just kind of advice on how to steer your list and maybe your purchases in the future so that you know what units could go with the synergies that you already have. So we're going to cut 3 Ripper Swarms. So we're going to be at 150 points already. Boom, that we can make use of. The Psychophage, now this is another thing. These are lists from viewers, Snail. Every single, I should go over how they're submitted. If you want me to review your list in between takes of me arguing whether or not a snail is a bug, go ahead to our channel. If you go into the post slot of our channel, I don't know why I turned my hand upside down. Go into the post slot of our channel, copy and paste whatever list you are working on from whatever army builder thing that you are using and put it in a thread that I've created. It says, hey, everybody, post your list here. And I will eventually get to your list. This summer, we're going to get caught up on army lists. I'm going to probably do a couple weeks where I do 2 streams and really just purge our queue so that we can start fresh before that data slate. But yeah, submit your list there. Members do get a little bit of a bump in priority just because we're thanking you for supporting the channel. But yeah, that's it. Cool. So going back to the Psychophage, I actually think that we don't need the Psychophage too much. I mean, it's okay, but we're going to see. 3 Pyrovores is a lot of Pyrovores. Things that we also want. The show less unit is like actually a sleeper, but we are unfortunately going to have to delete it. Sorry. Okay. I think I am going to delete the Psychophage because I think there's units that we're 100% going to want to have. I just don't really think that the Psychophage is one of those. So we're at 245 points. In addition, we are going to want to get rid of the Winged Tyranid Prime. I don't think it's quite doing what this list wants us to do. It's another action monkey to a sense, but it's not quite where we want to be at. So that's going to be 65 points. Let's do this. So we're going to drop This is 35 points. So we're cutting these two enhancements to put adaptive biology. Which that's going to be 25 points. 25 points, and then we'll have 10 points left over, and then 65 points. So we're going to get 75 points from changing those enhancements around and deleting the winged Tyranid prime. So 75 points, so that's 320 points. Chat, you're okay to make fun of me if I'm doing math wrong on that one, because I'm pretty confident that that was 320 points. But if I did that wrong, you get one free pass to make fun of me. Use it wisely. Use it wisely now. Okay. Next thing we want to do is we want to add those two units that I was talking about. We want zoanthropes, and we want to have a 3-man squad of venanthropes. So the first thing is going to be zoanthropes. That's going to be 200 points. This is a 6-man. So this would be 2 boxes of zoanthropes. It's 200 points. And I actually like the combo of zoanthropes and Tyranid effects in this. It seems pretty interesting. And that will be down to 120 points. Beep. And now we can go to 50 points by adding our venanthropes. So, sorry, I am 3 boxes of zoanthropes for you. Oh, and we also need a neurothrope. So let's see what we can do to try and get that. We have 50 points as it is. All right, I'm always like, sometimes I do the math ahead of time. And another reason why we want the Neurotyrant is Invasion Fleet really cares about being in Synapse, and just being able to ping 2 things and make sure they're in Synapse for a really long time is really, really important. Oh, shoot, sorry. I got caught up with a bunch of people were pinging me all of a sudden. So what I would do is we want to probably cut these pyrovores, and that's going to be an even trade for a Neurotyrant. I do like pyrovores. I think they are good. I just think we definitely want to have a Neurotyrant before we have pyrovores. So that's a clean trade right there. And then we have 50 points. And here's what we're going to do with this. And I do like Von Ryans. I think they're okay as well. But we're going to cut Von Ryans and basically combine the 50 points with the Von Ryans. And that's going to get us 2 Lictors. Lictor, 60 points. And I think that's a pretty interesting list. I think we lean a little bit more towards the swarm aspect. You know, we still have 40 Termagants. In my opinion, I would probably want to have 60, but I think this is a pretty good start. The Tervagon is kind of cool. I think this is interesting. So who knows? But I like where this list has gone. Let's talk about it. We've got Death Leaper. We've got Tervagon with Adaptive Biology. That's a very tanky combo. If you haven't used it before, it's very cool. We have a Neurotyrant to help us stay in Synapse for whenever we want. Triple Termagants. So here's the thing we could do. We could cut 2 of these Termagant squads and then go for, we could cut 2 of these Hormagant squads for an additional Termagant squad. I don't think it's a bad play at all. Then we have 40 Termagants. We have 1 Biovore down from the 3. We have 2 Lictors, double Exocrine, which I think is good. That's fine. A Norn Emissary, Tyranifex, 3 Venanthropes, and then 6 Zoanthropes. That's our list. I think that's a pretty good direction to go from there. Things that I think you'll have to purchase is, 3 Zoanthrope boxes. And then 2 Lictors. What I would do, honestly, especially if you're in a friendly group, and I think you said you were doing casual games, is I would find 50mm bases and just, you can like sticky tack 2 of your Von Ryans on those 50mm bases. And honestly, a lot of people that you play on this, they really, really know Tyranids, would not know that those Von Ryans aren't Lictors. Just say these Von Ryans are Lictors for this game. Easy peasy. Proxy them as Lictors and you'll be fine. So that's not going to break your bank too much. I mean, the 3 Zoanthrope boxes might, but the 2 Lictors, you know. Anyways, first list done. I think that was pretty quick. I think that was pretty awesome. Let's catch up with chat a little bit. How's everybody doing? Chance says, Jordan, would you say Synapse isn't really that important in assimilation swarm? I think I would agree with that. I think the bonus for Synapse for Battle Shock is actually better than we give it credit for a lot of the times. However, I still think there's a pretty good case of detachments like that are not really going to be craving Synapse as much as Invasion Fleet is, or literally Synaptic Nexus. So that is something to keep in track. But good question. Good question. Moving right along, we have Gallantz88. He says, hey, Jordan, lurker to member. I love that. Ozolith, he became a member again. That's awesome. He says, do you think if the Toxicrene got the Harvester keyword, it would see some use when the updates come out? That's a good question. Let's remind ourselves the Toxicrene profile. And I'm going to be honest, the fact that, I'm not trying to say that I'm all knowledgeable in all Tyranids at all, but the fact that I have to look up the Toxicrene datasheet concerns me a little bit. I'm not sure. I know it has a bunch of attacks. It's got 12 attacks. It is in some bad shape. Hits on 3, strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage. And its ranged attack is 2d6. Hits on 3s. So it's basically the same. It's only 9 inches, though. I bet you 9 inches is actually how far the tentacles like reach out from the bottle. What's up, Shaga? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here too. And the abilities are just kind of weird. So when you fall back, you roll a d6 on a 3-up, you have to stay there. It's kind of good. It's kind of all right. And the movement phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 6 inches. On a 2 to 3, that unit suffers 1 mortal, 4 to 5 d3, and then on a 6, that unit suffers 6 mortal wounds. I don't know. The thing that worries me is it's a 3-up save without an invulnerable, and it is a T11 monster. T11 is okay, but it's gonna get yoinked pretty easy. It does need some love. I think the Harvester keyword makes it kind of interesting. Oh, it's 250 points. I mean, 150 points. Oh my gosh, 250. I think it needs to be like 120 points. And then maybe it sees play. I don't know. It just doesn't do anything that all of our other monsters do already, you know? What's up, Nix? Glad you're back, man. Nix, chat has decided that snails are not bugs. So I apologize if that's disappointing news for you. Anyways, moving on to Gallant's member, his list. Thank you again, Ozolith, for that. It says, hey, Jordan, lurker to member. Have a tourney on May 3rd. Oh, it's passed. Sorry. Trying to decide between 2 lists, this one or one with 30 Gene Stealers instead of the Zoanthropes. 30 Gene Stealers. Any other suggestions are welcome. It says Swift Swarm, 2K Brains, 2,000 points. Vanguard Onslaught. We've got Broodlord, one with Hunting Grounds. Death Leaper, Neuro Tyrant with Neuro Node. Winged Hive Tyrant, interesting with Stalker. Winged Tyranid Prime. Okay, we've got double Gargoyles, a Biovore, double Gene Stealers, double Lictor, double Raveners, a 6-man Tyranid Warriors, and then 12 Zoanthropes. Yeah, I would agree with that, Ozolith. I think it's the worst monster we have, for sure. Which is, I mean, it's cool, but I definitely think it's the worst monster. Okay. So the thing is, without a second Neuro Tyrant, I think we cut the Zoanthropes. But if we cut the Zoanthropes, are we at exactly 2K? Yeah. I think we cut the Zoanthropes. Because I don't really want to make room in this list for another 105 points for a Neuro Tyrant because I like everything else that's going on. And I'm doing my best not to just recreate my list. But this is very close to my list that I'm running, except the zoanthropes. You switch out the zoanthropes, and then something else for an additional 10-man block. So I'll show you what I would do. And this is, I hate doing this because it's just like play my list. But so we cut zoanthropes. That's going to be 200 points. Oop, nope. Oop. We have 200 points right there. Nyx. I feel like you hated my joke. So no, Nyx. I did love it. It was good. I was just doing the bit where like somebody tells a joke and you're like, oh. I opened a Tyranid themed restaurant. It's a bio masterpiece. You don't order food, you are the food. There you go. Hey, Nyx, see, now you're knowing your crowd. Now you're knowing your audience. Very nicely done. Thank you for the support as always, man. You're incredible. And speaking of food, I hope your food is delicious. What are you munching on, man? You got pizza like normal or something? Or wings? It's either pizza or wings. That's what I'm guessing with Nyx. So you cut the zoanthropes, and this is going to shock you guys. In my current Vanguard list, I'm only running one squad of gargoyles. So if you cut the zoanthropes, cut the gargoyles, you have 285 points. And everybody knows that the Gene Stealer brick is 230 points. Boom. So that means we have 55 points left over, I believe. We need to do this. Boom. You guys want to see the Broodlord that I recently painted? It's the Mouse Strain Alpha. So 285 points. And then we have 50, what did I say? Yeah, 55 points left over. Boom, boom. Oh, 566. Wouldn't that be great? 55 points left over. So that means we need to make 5 points for a third lictor, because I definitely think you want 3 lictors. We already have Death Leaper. That's right. Okay, so I guess we do have a literal chat. You're right. So Stalker, I don't rate like super high. I'm trying to think how mine. Do I not have Hunting Grounds and Stalker? I thought I did. Like, what's the difference? I would cut Stalker. Where's mine? See what I got. Narrow Node, Stalker on the Broodlord. Narrow Tyrant, Chameleonic on the Winged-Hive Tyrant. Okay. Yeah, you could do that. But honestly, this is fine. If you just cut Stalker, then you should have enough points for another lictor. And that's a great time. Boom. I really like this list. This is actually the list that I've been playing in my past, or in my friendly games, my personal games, not on stream. It's really good. The way I run it is Narrow Node is great. Of course, you can put a lictor down to screen out the open board, kind of like as a shield, so that if you get first turn, you could potentially throw 30 Gene Stealers at them turn 1. I think honestly you do 10 or 20, and then stage the third blob behind some cover for like a second attack. I think that's the way you do it. And then oftentimes I actually also put the Narrow Tyrant in reserves. And that's because you 1 CP, you can bring in Zoanthropes from strategic reserves a turn early. That's pretty strong, just to be able to like zap something that maybe they weren't expecting. But oftentimes what I think happens is you tell them that, and then they're afraid of the Zoanthropes. So their first or second turn of movement is a little bit more cagey, so that Zoanthropes can't get angles on them. And that can actually help protect some of your melee threats, like your Tyranid warriors or like your Gene Stealers. So that's kind of how I use them. It's almost like a psychological deterrent as well. But if they do put something out that your Zoanthropes can get a pretty good angle on, and then they stay safe as well, that's a pretty good idea to do that as well. But I really like Vanguard Onslaught. It's my favorite detachment to play right now. And I hope you're having fun with it. So I hope those thoughts worked. And please let me know how the tournament went. I'm definitely leaning 30 Gene Stealers instead of 12 Zoanthropes. Chat is saying, I got a tournament coming up. Could you review my list? Zach, I would love to review your list. Right now, we've got a pretty good queue. If you want your list to be reviewed next week, I hate to do this, but like I would encourage you to become a member, and then I probably I think we have 2 member lists in the queue right now. Yeah, if you became a member, and I hate saying this, but if you became a member, I would be able to see your list next week for sure. But otherwise, it wouldn't be too fair for everybody else that's been in the queue. So I apologize that. Parker says, new Nits player here. Thanks for the vids. Super helpful to get the perspective of someone with lots of experience. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to work on stuff. Amy says, Jordan, can you describe lictors ideally after infiltrate, block, lure to trade wars? So like how you use them? I think you use them very carefully. You try and hide them. Like, yes, they're fights first, and they can be a really good trade point. But also, if you can keep your lictor around to score extra points and like score primary and stuff, it's really, really good. I will have a video coming up pretty soon on Vanguard Onslaught, like the 5 quick tips on different detachments. I did Invasion Fleet this last weekend, so I might talk more about lictors in that. But yeah, Horns are greater than gargoyles. I don't know about that. Shaka, you're Gallantz? Oh, you went up against Knights first. Shaka, did you do the 12 Zoanthropes, or did you do 30 Gene Stealers? Knights can be really, really tough. And I think lictors might be the key with that, because you really want to try and force all of the Knights to come forward, and then, because if you tie the Knights up, they have a much less fun time than if they send one Knight out and then you try and kill it and then they send another Knight out. What you don't want to do is them send one Knight out, you send one Gene Stealer brick out to trade with a Knight, because Knights are super excited for trading one Knight for 10 Gene Stealers and a Broodlord. That's not really where you want to be. You want to try and kill one Knight and then tie up another one at least, or split your attacks, roll high, and then go there. Canis Rex dead in one go. Good for you, man. I do love to see it. Absolutely. Subbed out a bit for Tyrannifexes. So maybe you probably cut like the Zoanthropes and, I don't know. I forget. I changed up your list a little bit. That's interesting. Cool. Yeah, I haven't been on the shooty side of Vanguard Onslaught. I know some people like to run kind of a combined arms with like Exocrines and Tyrannifexes. I kind of just want to punch people. When I'm playing Vanguard. Nobody clipped that. I don't know. But cool. I hope the rest of the tournament went good for you, man. Frank's Too High is a member. Again, thank you for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, even if it was gifted or not, we'll see. Enemy, I'm not sure. I think yours is still in the queue, man. I'm sorry. I think it might be next week or the week after. The queue is long. I'm trying to dig through it a little bit, but I saw yours recently. I have not gotten around a chance to review it just yet. Franksy says, "Heyo, new to Nids with 10th edition and doing my first crusade. Very cool. We've been very dry bones, and I didn't even know about the codex specific rules till just recently. My question is, as an army to be used as a pool for my crusade force, I'm curious as to what you would recommend. My current force is 2,000. I was planning on upping it to 2,400 or 2,600, depending on what to add. Currently, we are up to between 1,500 and 2,000 points a game, depending on the player. Need to get my bro a green name. Yeah, everybody try and get enemy with a membership. That would be amazing. Nyx is a member. Let's find somebody else to pick on. I mean, to help. We are Invasion Fleet, 2,000 points. Cool. And we have Hive Time with Alien. Oh, let me look through here. Whoa! Thanks, Gallantz. Thank you for viewing. Keep up the Nids content. You helped me get back in the game. I love to hear that, man. That's the kind of stuff I want to hear, because I really do enjoy the game. I really do enjoy Tyranids, and it's really awesome to see Nyx with 10 gifted members. Oh my, we got Ree, we got Chris, we got Malevolent Swarm. You did get Ree. We've got Kevin, David, Lucantila, cool name, Gary, and Florian. Dude, Nyx, you're a legend. Man. Oh, we do not have a snail. Snail is also, I would say snail is also pretty high on my priority for that. I really like that we have the literal snail in our chat. That's pretty sweet. No snail. An enemy went like, dodged. Okay. Cool. Yeah, thanks everybody for the support. You guys are incredible. You guys are amazing. So we're looking at Crusade. So let's chat about Crusade. I'm going to give my thoughts on Crusade real quick, and I've only played a couple of games of Crusade in my entire career as playing Warhammer. However, when I'm making a Crusade roster, I want to consider, you did get a gifted assembly. I want to consider units that are going to be, make the most benefit of upgrading throughout the Crusade. I want to think about units that are going to be really good at leveling up and such. So something like a Lictor, in my opinion, would be a great unit to have. In fact, like 2 or 3 Lictors, because like upgrading a Lictor, if it's like +1 strength or +1 attacks or whatever, there's some crazy stuff that you could upgrade in Crusade. I feel like a Lictor would be really, really good. Also, when you're doing Crusade, in my opinion, I think you should really paint and make some really cool models with it. Like if this is your Broodlord, I think that would be an incredible Crusade piece. Really have fun with it. Would you guys be interested in like us doing a Crusade League at all on the channel? But anyways, pivoting. So when if I'm reviewing this, some of these units I might encourage you to think about like upgrading and how they can grow further on down the line, as opposed to scoring units or just like kind of chaff units. So let's take a look. That being said, and then we can go from there. So we have a Broodlord with Alien Cunning. We have a Hive Tyrant, perfectly adapted. So the enhancements are weird too. I never really understood how the enhancements work in Crusade. I think you always attach them no matter what detachment you do. I don't know. Neuro Tyrant with Adaptive Biology. I would probably switch Adaptive Biology and perfectly adapted. I think you want your Hive Tyrant to be super, super beefy. That would be my first thing before going into too many things. Gargoyles, a 10-man, and then 2 Termagants. See, this is where I personally would probably go more towards Hormagaunts than Termagants. Just because I think upgrading Hormagaunts in a Crusade could be pretty cool, and they could actually do pretty well. Barbgaunts, sick. Do 2 Biovores. I think I probably cut 1 Biovore. I think you're taking a Biovore almost every single game, no matter what. So maybe it gets leveled up throughout the game, but I think you only need 1. And so I think you want to focus on this 1 specific Biovore so it levels up a little bit and you get more enhancements and experience on that specific Biovore. Because I don't think you'll ever run 2 Biovores, right? At least in my opinion. 10 Gene Stealers. I think Gene Stealers are a perfect unit for Crusade. 2 Lictors. I agree with that as well. 3 Raveners. Very cool. I would probably do the Armor because also your unit staying alive is kind of important within a Crusade as well. Zoanthropes. Maybe you want to upgrade this to a 6-man just to really get use out of that upgrade. If they get anything. 2 Exocrines, a Mouse Scepter, and a Tyrant effects with their Archer Cannon. Cool, this is cool. So let's we're going to shift some things around to maybe help with those changes that I said. So first up, we want to cut the Biovore. That's going to be 50 points. Just because I really think you're probably always going to have a Biovore, but maybe not 2. And I think you'd rather have 1 Biovore that is upgraded a lot in experience, as opposed to splitting your experience between 2 of them. I think we cut 1 squad of Termagants as well. I think 1 squad of Termagants is fine, but we don't need that. And then that'll be 110 points. So we're going to use that additional 100 points right off the bat to upgrade our Zoanthropes to a 6-man squad. I think a 6-man squad of Zoanthropes in a Crusade could do really, really well. It's also really versatile. So that's another thing with Crusade. You want to make sure that your list can kind of go to whatever you might come up against, depending on the league. So you don't want to kind of heavy lean into things that are only good at killing vehicles. So I think like one Tyrannifex with Rupture Cannon is perfect. But if you went all in on Rupture Cannons or whatever, it's probably not the best. We have 10 points left over. Tyranid Prime is interesting. Here's where I would probably, okay, here's what I would do. I'm excited about Hormagaunts and Crusade. So I would probably cut the Tyranid Prime to do 10 times Hormagaunts, and that's an even trade. And then I would probably also upgrade this Termagant squad to 10 times Hormagaunts. Boom. And then you have 2 Hormagant squads. You have 5 points left over from whatever total you had there. And I honestly think this is a very, very versatile list or a roster that you can choose from. So yeah, man, I think it's really fun. But chat, you are saying if we did a crusade of some kind, you guys would watch, you would think it would be cool? Who knows? I don't know. Only God's Crusade? Oh my gosh. Snail says, is Tyranid an army you have to run a lot of multiple big units, or you can get away with more diversity? I think it kind of depends what detachment you are running. I think Invasion Fleet, are you saying like big in model size or like big, like, are you saying big in the number of models per unit, or are you saying big models as the unit, like an X-Crane or like a Norn Emissary? Either way, I think there's a lot of versatility in Tyranids. I think Invasion Fleet allows you to kind of pivot a little bit to a couple of different things. I really like Vanguard Onslaught, but then at that point you kind of are pigeonholed a little bit. I hope that answers your question, kind of. Anyways. Chamerlingo, member. Thank you for your support. Oh, and just a heads up, this is one of the only weeks where I was not able to get to all members that were in the queue. I think there's a couple members that did not make it. So Ozolith, I think we're doing your list next week, just because I think we did a list of yours last week, and I really appreciate the support and everything and all of your cool lists. You have really good ones, but I want to make sure that we're spreading the love a little bit. So I apologize about that. I think there's one other member that was in there. Anyways, cool. Moving right along. I just saw 18 Raveners. I'm very excited for this list. I really love Vanguard and wanted to see how flexible I could be with it. Tyranids, Vanguard Onslaught, Death Leaper, Broodlord, Winged Hive Tyrant. Oh my gosh. If we have... Oh, I didn't do a list last week. Oh, that's right. Maybe I was thinking of one before. I'm sorry. Ozolith, I'm going to do a stream next Tuesday, and I'll make sure you are in there for sure. And then this summer, I'm going to double up a couple of weeks on Army List review shows, just clean it out. So I apologize for not today, but definitely next Tuesday. This list looks amazing. If I think it is what it is. We have two Gargoyles, Biovore, 20 Gene Stealers, 2 Lictors, a Neurolictor, 12 Raveners, Exocrine, Maleceptor, Tyrannifex. Ooh-wee. This is kind of sick. This is awesome. Okay. When I'm thinking about Vanguard, I think we do want to be a little bit more on the lone ops. I do like Raveners, and I am hesitantly excited for the kill team. I think, in my opinion, we trade out this Neurolictor for a Lictor. I think that's gonna be my first. That's gonna be my first thing. So we trade out the Lictor for a Neurolictor. The Neurolictor for a Lictor. So that's going to be 20 points left over after that. Beep. We have 20 points. And I hate when it turns gray, but it's fine. I said it's fine, and then I immediately fix it because it's going to bother me. 20 points. Boom. Okay. When we are playing Vanguard Onslaught, I'm okay with a couple of pieces of shooting. I personally only have one. It's the Zoanthropes. However, it's fine. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to try and sell you guys on why you should have the Neurotyrant plus Zoanthropes. It's because of Synapse. And in Vanguard lists, especially when you are running 12 Raveners, you want a Neurotyrant. You want them to be in Synapse. Strength 5 up to Strength 6 is actually a huge breaking point. If you think about it, Orcs going on T5. I'm just triple. Okay, cool. Raveners are Strength 5. Raveners going from Strength 5 to Strength 6 is actually huge because Orcs, you're wounding them on 3s with Twin Linked instead of 4s. In addition, Custodies, you're not really wanting to put your Raveners into Custodians. However, if you do, having them on Strength 6 AP1 is way better than Strength 5 because you do not want to be wounding on 5s against Custodies. Because then you're going to be wounding on 5s. Yes, Twin Link is super cool. However, you're wounding on 5s and they're saving on 3s. I would rather choose either or. You know, I want them to be wounding on 4s with Twin Linked, which is way better than 5s, and then have a 3-up save. You know, that's still not the best for us, but if you're rolling 6 Raveners, which is 42 attacks, that can kill some Custodians for sure. Enemy says a Parasite for Crusade Warlord. Incredible. So what I'm going to recommend, I think we changed this Tyranifex for a 6-man Zoanthrope squad. And that's a pretty easy change. However, that now means that we need 105 points for our Neurotyrant. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we cut the Exocrine. I think we cut the Exocrine as opposed to the Maleceptor. Maleceptor is pretty cool as like this annoying mid-board threat that like these Raveners can stage behind it. And if you want to tangle with the Maleceptor, you're going to get hit with 42 attacks of the Raveners the next turn. So I'm going to keep the Maleceptor and I'm going to cut the Exocrine. That's going to put us up to 160 points. Oh, what just happened? Did my keyboard just die? It's kind of insane. Let's see if I just plug it in. The best shooter in the game. I don't know about that. Yes, my keyboard died. Okay, very interesting. So we are at 146. So that's going to be 55 points left over. Neurotyrant. We had a Neurotyrant. I really like the Neurotyrant. It's also, you know, a flamer to have, and Vanguard Onslaught is not bad. Now, I think Chameleonic we want to change to the Winged Hive Tyrant. Because cover on the Broodlord is 105 is still too much. Franks, what's up? I'm glad you're here, man. I'm sorry you missed your review, but yeah, I think I would like to do a Crusade too. I'm just trying to think of how we would do it. If we're doing something like a Crusade, I want to do it right, you know. And then honestly, with 55 points left over, I would be pretty happy with the Barb Gaunts. I think Barb Gaunt squad actually slots in pretty good. We don't have to do anything crazy with the points, but it's pretty nice. Things that we're missing, I think if we had Hunting Grounds, it would be good. But I don't really want to change too many other things. Probably said Lictor with the Parasite. Oh, I love Lictors. Lictors are so good. Yeah, I think I like this. I think this is a very interesting list. I think the Maleceptor is not something that people see coming, but honestly, the Maleceptor being able to fall back and charge because of Vanguard Onslaught could be kind of cool. It could be kind of cool. So to review the list, we have a Death Leaper, we have Broodlord, we have another Broodlord with Stalker. I like Broodlord with Stalker because of the Twin Linked. If you're gonna have Stalker, I'd probably put it on the Broodlord. And then we swapped Chameleonic to the Winged Hive Tyrant. Of course, we added a Neurotyrant. Still on 20 Gargoyles. I think that's fine. That's more than I run, which is kind of crazy to hear me say, but I think it's good. Barb Gaunts as like kind of like a tech piece against some things that might be running at you. Biovores, 20 Gene Stealers, Triple Lictor, 12 Raveners, a Maleceptor, and 6 Zoanthropes. I also think there's an argument to split up one of the Ravener squad to 2 3-mans. I think that's probably the right call. So you can uppy downy in different places because 21 attacks on a Ravener squad is actually very, very strong. You don't really need much more than that if you are going into the right targets with the Raveners. So it's just something to think about. If you really like the 12-man Ravener blob, keep it. But in my opinion, a 6-man and then 2 3-mans would be awesome. Moving right along, we've got Joey Coombs. What's up, man? Thank you for being a member. Thank you for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. He says, hey, Jordan, new Tyranid player that just recently started with a group a few months ago, but was looking to take this list to a local RTT. Crab Warriors. That would be cool to see somebody with like warriors, but they're all like the lobster claws. That'd be awesome. I hope this guy's doing that. Okay, Hive Tyrant with the Venom Cannon and the Bone Sword. Now in Warrior Onslaught, I'm not really sure if I prefer the Venom Cannon or the double melee. That could be a good question. And we have 2 Tyranid Primes and a Neuro Tyrant. Cool. Battle line, we have Hormagaunts, 2 6-man Tyranid Warriors, Biovore, Exocrine, Lictor, Psychophage, Tyrannofex, Tyrant Guard, Zoanthropes. Wow. We're getting quite a bit of everything here. Okay, so I actually really value the MSU Warrior Bricks in this detachment. I think this detachment is good. I think we're going to try and give some suggestions to help Joey out, kind of shift this a little bit. Units that I think we are probably going to end up cutting. I think the Hormagaunts are fine. I think they're good. I like the Exocrine, but I want to run 2 if I'm running any at all. So we'll see. Lictor's great. I honestly don't love the Psychophages. I don't think they're great. So we're going to cut the Psychophages, and that'll give us 190 points. We're also going to cut the Tyrant Guard. So that's going to give us 270 points to work with, which is a lot of points to work with. 270 points. Things that are cool. I like the Zoanthropes. It is enough for a Norn, but we're going to try and put some warriors in. So honestly, if we put 2 3-man warriors, don't even have them leaded, that's 150 points. And then we shuffle some stuff around to see if we can get another Exocrine, and then I'm actually pretty happy. We probably do want more Lictors. This enhancement is advanced in charge, and it's 30 points. So let's trim this. So we're going to go up to 300 points. I do think that the advanced in charge is good, but if we're kind of working a little bit tight, I think it's better to just Tyranid Warriors, and then 3 times Tyranid Warriors. Just think about this. Like if you're running a 3-man Tyranid Warrior brick, and this is from my buddy Tucker. He's actually run this detachment a couple of times. And he really likes it. This is the detachment that he likes, and he likes Tyranid Warriors. I think they're good. 75 points. Each one is OC3. Each one has a 5-up and vulnerable save. If you go on to an objective with all 3 of them, that is 9 OC. And why is 9 OC important? Knights, they can just go up and put their armigers on. That's only 8 OC. So that means your Tyranid Warriors can out OC armigers in Imperial Knights. That's pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. In addition, if you're charging with them, 18 attacks, hitting on 3s, reroll 1s. That's gross. And if you can do the +2 strength, then it's going to be what strength? Is it strength 7 or strength 8? I think it's strength 8. Strength 8 twin linked. I'm triple checking. Yeah, strength 8 twin linked. Oh my gosh. So like 3-man warrior blobs, that's all you really need. Like I honestly do like how you have 2 big bricks, but you could even do 2 more 3-man warrior blobs, and they're probably fine. And you just attach one of these primes to it, and then you're just moving on from it. Because the thing that Tyranids lack, in my opinion, is efficient trading units. And melee Tyranid warriors in warrior onslaught solve that immediately. They are very, very good. So that's what I would recommend. You split this unit up. Warriors. And then 3 times Tyranid warriors. So you can stage with these warriors. They're going to be harder to kill than your opponent is going to think because of the T5, the 5-up invulnerable save, and the OC3 means it's something they have to kill, actually. And then you stage these up. You can like trade with Hormigons. You stage these up, and then you save your 6-man blob until something like really crazy is put onto the point, and then you can just slam them, you know? We still have 300 points. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, no. So this is 150 points. So we're down to 150 points. Easy peasy. Boom. Okay. The acid spray Tyrant effects is kind of interesting. Honestly, strength 8 on an acid spray for the +2 strength, that's pretty spicy. The rupture cannon is okay too. I think that's fine. I think I would probably honestly rather have this Tyrant effects be a rupture cannon as opposed to an acid spray, but I think it's like, eh. And then what we could do, we want to make space for this second exocrine. I don't really want to cut this. I guess it's fine if we have 1 exocrine. It's not the best. We could cut one of these warrior bricks. 75. So that would be 225. And then put another exocrine. And then we have 85 points left over. 85 points. And then we do like another lictor. And then maybe we do the -1 to hit enhancement on the other one. And I forget what that is, but it's I think it is 20 points. That fixes this list. Not fixes it. I think it was pretty good to begin with. I think Warrior Onslaught is actually slept on. Jacob, you made it. Did I miss a list from myself? Joey Coombs. I don't know. You might be. Are you Jacob 34? You're not Gallant's. You're not Frank's Too High. You're not Chamerlingo. Jacob. Oh, that was you? The first Jacob? Awesome. Well, I'm really sorry. Jacob 34. We went over your list first, so I apologize. You're gonna have to rewind. But I thought it was pretty cool. I can go over it real quick for what we did. I think we kept the 40 Termagants. We shuffled. No, we didn't shuffle anything there. I forget what we did, but and you can go back and check. Death Leaper, Tervagon with Adaptive Biology. We got, oh yeah, we shuffled points around to make sure that we had a Neuro Tyrant because I think the Synapse is really good. Invasion Fleets, Double Lictor, Exocrine, Norn Emissary, Tyrant Effects, 3 Venomthropes, and then 6 Zoanthropes. That's kind of where I would go. And then here I highlighted, and you can rewatch. Here I highlighted the things that you would need to get, I think, in order to make this list. And it's unfortunately 3 Zoanthrope boxes and then 2 Lictors. And I also said, like, just proxy your Von Ryans that you had as 2 Lictors while you're getting your stuff together. But anyways, oh, look at all the hearts. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the support. Let's keep moving. It was a good stream, guys. I'm glad you're hanging out with me, and I hope your Monday went well. That was Joey. Very cool. Try out something like this list. Seems fun. I need more warriors to try it. Now we are going to our non-members. Do we have 85 points left over? Oh, no. We did Lictor and then the enhancement. It's fine. Non-members. Of course, non-members. Still, thank you for your support. Believe it or not, if you did not submit lists, I would not have a chance to review them. So thank you. Dinosaur Hunter YouTube. Seems like a channel we should subscribe to. Hey, Jordan. I'm a new reviewer, but I have been really getting into your content as of late. This is basically my wish list Crusher Stampede army featuring my favorite Nid models, except for Norn, unfortunately. I wanted you to look at the list before making commitments to models. Can't wait to hear what you think. Tyrant Guard in a unit with Swarmy, and Zoe's in a unit with Neurotyrant. Cool. Awesome. Let's take a look at what we got. Walking with Dinosaurs. Okay, you know what? I'm putting 2 and 2 together here. Chat, did you put 2 and 2 together? Dinosaur Hunter YouTube. And then his list name is Walking with Dinosaurs. Interesting. Very cool. All right. So we've got Neurotyrant with Ominous Presence. I think this is okay. I think it's going to make your Zoanthropes like have 4 OC apiece or something crazy, right? And then the Neurotyrant having 6 OC. Swarmlord, Double Gargoyle, Biovore, Exocrine, Lictor, just 1 Lictor. We probably want room for another one or maybe a third one. Double Maleceptor, Tyrannifex, 3 triple Tyrannifex, Rupture Cannon, Acid Spray, Rupture Cannon, Tyrant Guard, Zoanthropes. Okay. All right. So if we want, yeah, I would agree, Nix. With a name like that, it is probably pretty obvious that they like sloths. I would say. I would agree with you. No argument here. Sloths. Hold on. You know what? Let's do this real quick. Thank you, Nix, for that. Okay. Everybody subscribe to Sloths Hunter YouTube and walking with. Here we go. Just fixing this real quick. Everybody, hang on tight. Walking with Sloths. The legendary show less again. Yes. All right. So if you want to do the Tyrant Guard thing, if you want to do the Neurotyrant with Zoanthropes, you got to have max squads. You do. So what is this? Double Exocrine. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. It's a pretty quick fix. So we're going to need 180 points because we need to upgrade this to 200 for the 6-man. And then we need this to be up to 160 for the 6-man Tyrant Guard as well. Oh, shoot. This is before Slate. Man, I'm behind. So this is 40 points back down to, this is 40 points over. Yikes. Okay. 40 points. Negative. Oh, goodness. Negative 40. Wow. I gotta get cooking here. Okay. So what I was thinking is we're probably going to cut one of the Tyrant effects. I do like the Tyrant effects, but, and then this goes down to 160. Did I do that right? I think. This goes down to 160 points because we've accounted for the 200 points. So we have 160 points to go. So it means we only need 20 points really to get the Tyrant Guard as well as Zoanthropes upgraded. It's just so disappointing that Swarmlord is still high. He's still ridiculously high. 240 points. I don't think I really want him. Nick says, I think I just heard Jordan say 5 streams next week. Oh my gosh. I will do one army list review show. We should do a stream where the super chat goal is an additional stream. I feel like that would be a pretty no-brainer. Okay, so here's what I am going to suggest. And I know you really like Swarmlord. 6 streams next, 7 streams? Oh gosh. I think, how many points does that even get us to where we need to be? A Hive Tyrant is 225, right? It's 225. So we're 5 off. Stream where each super chat extends the stream. Oh my gosh. No, it'd have to be like for every 5 super chats it extends the stream. I do enjoy sleep. All right. We need 20 points. We already cut a Tyranid effects. That's kind of sad. I am sad about that. I think we do this. And I'm not super excited about it, but we do have a lot of points locked up with the Swarm Lord as well as the Zone Throw. We cut the Gargoyles. We make another Lictor. Then we have 25 points left over. It's going to be 185. And then we change this to 6 Zone Thropes with 100 points times 6. And then we change this to 160 with 6 Tyrant Guard. So that's what I would do. And you have 5 points left over if you really want to keep the Tyrant Guard and Zone Thrope bricks. I think they're okay. I think Zone Thropes is less. I'm less excited on the Zone Thrope brick than I am the Tyrant Guard brick. With 200 points, you could probably get that 3rd Tyranifex again. You could also get a 3rd Exocrine and a 3rd Lictor, which is probably where I would lean, but it is fun. It is cool. So I hope my thoughts helped you. I hope my shifting of the list made sense as well. But I hope you're enjoying all of your sloths, you know, because that's definitely your name. Anyways, moving right along. I think we have two more lists, maybe 1, 2, 3. We have 3. Oh, we have 4. All right, let's get rolling. I've been dilly-dallying a little bit. All right, next up we have, I'm just going to make sure that I didn't. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's Sloth Hunter. Next up, we have Anthony. Hey, Jordan, how are you? I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. I hope you're doing well as well. I'm from Brazil, and I love your videos. Again, that's my favorite thing, is making, you know, videos about Tyranids and everybody from around the world saying that they enjoy Tyranids too. That's amazing. First of all, I would like to thank you for your content about the NIDs. Seriously, it helped me a lot. Love to hear that. Started playing Warhammer in September of last year and only played Combat Troll until end of December. At the beginning of this year, I started planning my first list to play 1000, 1.5, and maybe 2K. Fortunately, the models here in Brazil are very expensive, so I can't afford to get everything I wanted. But I would like you to review my 1.5K list. I included the Turvagon because it's my favorite model, and I wouldn't like to remove it. Awesome. I'd love to hear that, man. That's cool. Yeah, and I'm sorry to hear that. Models are expensive in Brazil. Okay, let's take a look. We've got Death Leaper. We've got Hive Tyrant with Perfectly Adapted. So this is before the slate as well. Jeez, I need to get rolling on this. Neurotyranid, Tyrant, Turvagon with Adaptive Biology. Awesome. So we're down 10 already. We have 30 Termagants. Very cool. Biovore, Neurolictor, Pyrovore, 3 Von Ryans, 3 Zoanthropes, 1 Exocrine. So we'll be down 5. Now we're going to be down 15. Negative 15 points. I also own the following units: Tyrant Guard, Winged Tyranid Prime, 5 Barbagons, Psychophage, 3 Rippers, 2 Maliceptors. Wow. I usually play against my friends who started playing with me. He uses Necrons. Sweet. However, where I play, there's also great diversity of other armies. I would be grateful for any tips or advice you can give me to improve my list. Again, thanks for your awesome content. Hey, thanks for your awesome list. And I appreciate the support, man. It's incredible. Okay. So we're down 15 points. So we need to make sure that we make that up. I'm excited. What is this? 1.5K? Yeah. So we have 10. Okay. So we're only down 5, really. Things that I would like to cut, probably. Von Ryans. And then I'm probably going to suggest the thing that I suggested earlier on the stream, to just use these as lictors. Find a 50 millimeter base. Just use them as lictors. Nobody's going to care. And if they do care, then they're not the coolest, in my opinion. I would also, and it's tough because like I also kind of would recommend 10 more Termagants. 40 Termagants seems really annoying to deal with at lower point values, even at 1.5K. And I think we kind of trim a little bit of stuff. So I think Pyrovores, especially at 1.5, we don't really need too much. I mean, they are good, but could be interesting. So I'm going to cut Pyrovores. We're going to be at 35 points then left over. And then we have a question of, do we want to try and jam in these two Maliceptors? Because I feel like at 1.5 thousand points, two Maliceptors would be like really tough to deal with. So I think we do. So things that I think we should do. I'm not a huge fan of the Neurolictor, to be honest. So I would cut both of these, the Von Ryans and the Neurolictor. So that's going to be 160 points, and this is going to be 195 points. And then I think you proxy two of those Von Ryans as lictors. Find a 50mm base if your buddies are cool. And honestly, a lot of times if you're not running Von Ryans and you want to use them as lictors, I don't think anybody's really going to care, you know? And it also is going to help you on not buying a whole bunch of models all the time. So that's what I would do. Lictor 60. Cool. And then that's going to put us down to 75 points. 75 points. And then I actually have a pretty clean swap for you right here. In my opinion, I'm not super excited on 3-man Zoanthropes, but I am excited about at least one Maliceptor. 170 points. And then we're 5 points left over. And that is really, you know, some people feel differently about proxying stuff. I think it's kind of just a way, especially if you are growing your collection. Using Von Ryans and finding 50mm bases are super easy to just sticky tack those Von Ryans on top of the 50mm base. They're lictors. Who cares, you know? And I think lictors are very strong right now. So that's what I would do immediately. And you don't really need to change anything. You don't need to purchase any more units. I think this is a pretty cool list. Something that also you could do if you want to lean more in toward those Termagants, you could also just run one lictor and find 10 more Termagants. And that would not be bad as well. Agreed, enemy. And like, you know, if you say, oh, your Hive fleet, their lictors actually look like Von Ryans, cool, you know. But again, thank you for the kind words. You know, I really appreciate the support. And I hope you find my thoughts useful or something. But I do like where the list is headed. I would probably run a Venom Cannon over the Stranglethorn Cannon. I just think the Venom Cannon is a little bit more competitive right now. But I definitely do like Death Leaper. Perfectly adapted on the Neurotyran is okay. But perfectly adapted is on the Hive Tyrant. Never mind. Yeah, that's correct. That's good. Okay, sick. Oh, we have 5 points left over. You could also maybe swap out these Termagants for a Hormagant. But I think 30 Termagants with the Turvagon could be good. What's up, Oslo? Good to see you again. Welcome back. All right, moving right along. We have Tim Esmerkelis, 6775. What's up? Oh, Adam. He says, good afternoon, a super chat goal where Jordan plays a game with a random member of the stream. That would be cool. Two things. I need to get a new computer. Part of what I'm trying to get enough money for is a new computer so I can do things like that, hopefully. And also, it would definitely have to be pre-recorded. I'm sure all of you people are lovely ladies and gentlemen. However, in order to protect the integrity of the stream, we would need to have it pre-recorded as opposed to live in case somebody has a really bad time or something, you know, whatever. But yeah. Hi, recently found this channel. This is my Invasion Fleet list that I really enjoy playing. I like having 40 plus models of trash to throw away while the big bugs can sit back and do damage. That sounds cool. I like that too. I recently took my first loss against Astra Militarum, Hammer of the Emperor in round 3 of my local RTT. He got turn 1 on mission P and exposed his 4 Rogel Dorns and advanced his entire army. On my turn 1, I tried tying up 3 Dorns, so only 2 could shoot while focusing the shooting of my entire army into 1 Dorn to try and kill it, and maybe with another. I dealt 3 damage, and then the 2 Dorns, after fall back and shoot, one-shot the Norn, Elector, all Zoanthropes with Neurotyran, Hormagants, and Squad of Termagants. I managed to calm some points back to turns 3 and 5, ended a 92-80 loss. I don't know what else to do They have an army with just as much trash as me and 4 big tanks that exposes all of its tanks turn 1. Here's my list. Imperial Guard are a tough matchup for us. And it's tough because, like, I hope your opponent said, oh, I can fall back and shoot. I hope they told you that. Because the way I like to play, I always like to be very transparent with my opponents. Tell them if I can fall back and shoot, then I'm going to tell them that, But also, I don't know. I played in a teams tournament recently and I got paired into Imperial Guard. After multiple times with my team, I was like, hey guys, it's not the best for me to go into Astra Militarum. It's really, really a bad matchup. And they're like, sorry, dude, you have to play Imperial Guard. So the entire game, I was like, this is not a easily winnable game. And I knew the guy too. He's a very good player. So my game plan for that game was to keep the score as close as possible. I hid my monsters for like 3-4 turns from him. I didn't let any angles happen. And I still lost by, I think, 10, 15 points. So it was really like a 9-11 in teams. That was the score, if you're familiar with team scoring. So I got 9 points. He got 11 points. But anyways, it's a tough matchup. But let's see what we can do. Let's take a look at your list. We've got Hive Tyrant, Bone Sword, and Heavy Venom Cannon, a Neuro Tyrant, Gargoyles. I knew somebody was going to make a 9-11. No, that was the score. I got 9 points. You got 11. Come on, folks. Gargoyles are good, of course. 10 Hormigons and then 20 Termagants. Interesting. I'm not really sure what Termagants are going to be doing too much. Like maybe just throwing out there, but we'll see. Are we right at 2,000 points? We are right at 2,000 points. Okay. We have Biovore, Double Lictor, Neurolictor. I like that. Pyrovore, one-man Pyrovore. 6 Zoanthropes, Exocrine, Maleceptor, Norn Emissary, and Tyrannifex. Okay. So if we're worried about Imperial Guard, I would probably... Let's see what we can do. Things that we're going to cut. We're going to change this Neurolictor to a Lictor. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. And that's going to give us 20 points. Immediately. I value Lictors way more than Neurolictors right now. The 4 Benvoln is okay, but really the durability of a Lictor is it being lone op and it fighting first. And if you are playing very safely and very smartly with your Lictors, there's a pretty good chance that they won't be in danger. You just have to be very careful with them. So we have 20 points after we downgrade or side grade the Neurolictor. Also cutting the Pyrovore. You do have a Maleceptor, so Pyrovore is good. Let's see what else we want to cut. I think what we have 20 points. I think if we cut both of these Termagant squads and just upgrade them to Hormigons, it's only 5 points extra. But I think Hormigons are going to be way better. So that's 10 points. So we're back down to 10 points left over. The reason why I think Hormigons are better is because they move 10. They can advance and charge. And I don't want to say they actually do damage, but they can go out, charge something like a Rogaldorn, tie it up in combat, and it's a bunch of OC that your opponent has to put something on in order to counteract that. So I definitely think that would be interesting. Honestly, that's where I would do. That's what I would do. I think your list is good. Me personally, I'm probably running a Tyrannifex over, like a second Tyrannifex, a second Rupture Cannon over Norn Emissary. But I don't think a Norn Emissary is bad. I think it is just way more fragile than people think it is. So I'm sorry, I'm burping. So there's a chance that it can just melt too early, and then that would be disappointing. But that's just me. Who knows? And then you have 10 points left over. Let's see if you have you can maybe do perfectly adapted. Oh, you don't have adaptive biology. Interesting. Okay, so I would probably cut the Pyrovore to put adaptive biology on the Hive Tyrant. I really like that enhancement. And then you aired 50 points. That would be 25 points. And then 25 points left over. You could do like a Ripper Swarm. And a Ripper Swarm is actually not bad. It helps with screening out. It's basically like a second Spore Mine if you really think about it. For screening out purposes. It doesn't do the advance and charge thing or the negating advancing. But anyways, that's probably what I would do because I do really rate the Adaptive Biology enhancement. But this is not a bad list. I hope you understand that like going into Imperial Guard is tough, and I think it is going to be. What do you think our weakness unit is for Tyranids? Our weakest unit, maybe? Toxicreen's pretty weak. I think the Sporocysts, I think the Mucolid Spores are hardly units. I'll be honest with you. And Harpy, the High Crone, of course. I'm honestly not a huge fan of the Screamer Killer. I think it just needs something else. I think it needs a better data sheet rule. We have 2 more lists. What time is it? I think we're chilling on time, but oh, it's actually kind of late. We're going to get rolling. 2 more lists. First one is Lex Honeyut. Hey, Jordan, just getting into NIDS and looking at the following for my first 2000 Invasion Fleet list. Not sure about the Alien Cunning, but also not sure what I would switch it out with. Cool. Well, I would say probably switch it out for Adaptive Biology on the Hive Tyrant. But anyways, let's look at it. We have Hive Tyrant with perfectly adapted for right now instead of Alien Cunning. And then Neurotyrant with Alien Cunning. Then we have Hormagaunts, Termagant, and Termagant. So 10 Hormagaunts and 2 10-man Termagants. A Biovore, double Exocrine, a Maleceptor, a Neurolictor, Psychophage. Oh no, I just said I don't like Screamer Killers, and there's 2 Screamer Killers. They're okay. They're not terrible. Tyrant effects, and I'm just realizing this is before Slate. Okay, so we're going to be even. Nope, we're going to be down 10 by the 2 Exocrines. Von Ryan's Leapers, and then Zoanthropes. I think this is a fine start. I think Double Screamer Killer is actually okay. You have to be very careful with it. You have to rapid ingress one, probably, I would assume. But yeah, I don't mind the combo of Tyrannifex and Zoanthropes. However, I'm not a huge fan of Psychophages. I just think Psychophages are not really doing too much. So I would cut the Psychophage. That means we would be at 85 points. Chat, what's 85 points? You know what 85 points is. And then I think we also cut the Von Ryan Sleepers. 155 points. Boom, boom. If you like think about the Screamer Killers as like playing the role as the Gene Stealers as like a counter threat, like a counter punch, I think that's fine. I don't think it's terrible. I probably would run Gene Stealers over Screamer Killers, but Screamer Killers have the potential to just roll over people. And like I said before, I'm probably running. Oh, so this is actually plus 10 points. We're at 165 because I forgot the Neurolictor. So I'm probably just going to cut this for a Lictor, 60 points. And then another Lictor was going to be another 60 points. We'll be at 105. 105 points left over. Your shooting is fine. Like you have Maleceptor, double Exocrine, Tyrannifex, and Zoanthrope. So you have 2 like anti-tank threats. You have 105 points left over. I think we honestly want just better chaff, like better screening units. So we have 105 points. So we're gonna add Gargoyles. That's gonna be 85 points. So we're at 20 points. And we're gonna change both of these to Hormagaunts. I just really like Hormagaunts over Termagants. Like if you're just running 10-man Termagant squads, I promise you that 10-man that 10-man Hormagaunts are probably going to do the job of the 10-man Termagants better. That's going to leave us with 10 points left over. And what I would do is drop Alien Cunning, especially because we dropped the Von Ryans, and do Adaptive Biology. So that's going to give us 20 additional points because I think Alien Cunning is still 30. No, Alien Cunning is 20. So that's going to give us 10 additional points. What were we at before? 10. So we have 20 points left over. I think you probably just swap. Like the Neurotyrant having perfectly adapted is fine. I think it's fine. You have 5 points left over. So, we need to cut these. Reviewing the list. This list. 30 Hormagaunts is quite a bit. We're doing Hive Tyrant, Neurotyrant, 30 Hormagaunts. You probably actually cut one of those. 2 10-man Hormagaunts, Gargoyles, a Biovore, Excrin, Maliceptor, and then replace that third Hormagaunt squad with a third Lictor. Again, use your Von Ryans. Sticky tack a 50mm base onto the Von Ryans. Then you have 3 Lictors. Bada bing, bada boo. I should probably make a video on how to turn Von Ryans into Lictors. That would be cool. Double Screamer Killer. These are good counterpunch units. I think they're fine. Throw your Hormagaunts out there, take a point, and then advance your Screamer Killers behind them. So if they're killing the Hormagaunts, then they get punched in the face with the Screamer Killer. It's awesome. Maliceptor to support them as well is pretty good. And then Anti-Tank, Rupture Cannon, Tyranifex, as well as a 6-man Zoanthropes. Seems good. Seems fine. And our last list of the day is AG. Probably one of the best channel names that I've ever seen. He says, "Hey Jordan, I am new to Warhammer and love your videos. Thank you. I'm glad you are in the hobby and I love your comment. I just want to hear your thoughts on my 2K wish list before I commit to buying all of the miniatures." Sick. And the list is aptly named as Big Boys. Good job. Crusher Stampede, Hive Tyrant with Monstrous Nemesis. I believe this gives +1 to wound against monsters or vehicles. I'd probably change the Stranglethorn to a Venom Cannon or to the Sighting Talons. Neurotyrant with Ominous Presence. This is fine. 20 Gargoyles, Biovore, Excrin, 1 Lictor, a Maliceptor, Norn, Tyranifex with Rupture Cannon, Tyranifex with Rupture Cannon. Okay, cool. So we are minus 10 points. Oh, I said double Excrin, right? Okay, so we're minus 20 points. This list is cool. The only thing we're going to have to, make room for the Gargoyles. So this is a quick fix too, because I actually really do like this list. I don't mind this list at all. I think it's going to shock chat. Ready? I think having 2 Lone Ops is more important than having 2 Gargoyles. So I think we cut the Gargoyles. What was this at? -20. And then we get a second Lictor. Boom. Then we have 5 points left over. Oh, it's minus 30. Oh, but the remember, Nyx, the Hive Tyrant is minus 10 points as well. I think I did the math too quick. Please correct me again if I'm still wrong. But the Hive Tyrant is minus 10 points as well. But yeah, I like this list. I think double Maliceptor is cool. Things that would be neat if we had 2 or I said double Maliceptor. I think 2 Norn Emissaries is cool. It also asks the question, do you go full send and just do triple Norn? Things you would cut. I don't know. I like this list. I think this list is good, man. I think this is awesome. Just Norn Emissaries getting onto the point saying, come mess with me. And people are like, I don't really want to mess with you. But I think it's pretty good. Anyways. It's late. That's your basic invasion fleet list. Double Norn. It's kind of sick, man. That's awesome. Chat. Thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for putting up with my still raspy voice from my cold that I'm very slowly getting over. But we really appreciate all the support. Thank you. We are trying to push for 10K subs. So if you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. Tell all your friends to subscribe. Once we reach 10,000 subscribers, we're going to do a 10-hour stream. I'm going to do probably 3 games of Tyranids, or maybe we'll do like 2 games of Tyranids, and then we'll do an army list review show or some kind of shenanigans, in the meantime. So subscribe if you'd like to. Support, we appreciate all the support. Ozlus has something to say. What's up, man? While he's typing that out, Wednesday we are doing a stream with new World Eaters and new Emperor's Children. Fulgrim is going to be on the table, I believe. So we're going to be new World Eaters, Emperor's Children. If it's not Emperor's Children, it's going to be Death Guard. So either way, it's going to be 2 new Chaos armies because it is my off week. Next week, it's going to be the Beans, Bugs, and Boys. Again, if you want to see us eat disgusting beans, Kai will be on stream again. And I'm running Vanguard Onslaught for some RTT prep. So hang out with us. It's going to be a great time next week. The following week, I don't know what I'm playing. So the following week, we will do a meme list on that. So it's 2 weeks before memes. But I apologize. Ozlith, go ahead and finish typing. I'm going to keep the stream live for just a little bit. Everybody, you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will not see you Wednesday, but I'll see you very soon. Bye.